Could we ask that you please take your seats in readiness for the ceremony? Good morning and welcome to our Term 1 Middle School Awards Assembly. My name is Monique Jorgensen and I'll be your MC this morning. A very warm welcome to our parents and families who are joining us today, and we also extend this welcome to those families who are joining us via the live stream. Today we gather as a community to celebrate the academic excellence of our students from their studies in Semester 2 last year and the personal excellence in Learner Attribute Awards for 2025. From our Year 8 and 9 students today, we will recognise 206 students for their academic and personal achievements. Behind every student achieving an award today is a story or an episode of dedication somewhere. It may have been attending that extra tutorial, pushing through a challenging problem, or making the choice to put the phone down and stop scrolling. Today is a chance to reflect on that dedication and the hard work and effort that it has taken for people to get here today. To our newest members of the college, our Year 7 students, we hope you enjoy your first awards ceremony. These ceremonies are not only an opportunity to celebrate excellence, but also a chance to showcase the talents of our musicians, appreciate the creativity of your peers in their artwork, reflect on the messages that you will hear from our speakers and in our prayers, and welcome our new staff to our community. I hope you enjoy this ceremony and strive to one day take to the stage in recognition of your own achievements. To commence our formal proceedings, I now ask Frank Kebesu to come forward to give the acknowledgement of land. He'll be followed by Will McFarlane and Jonah Wren to give our reflection and prayer.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land which we gather on today, the Darambil people, and pay my respects to the elders past and present. As a proud First Nation person myself, I recognize the deep and continuing connection that Aboriginal and Torres Strait people have to the land, waters, and community. May we walk together with respect, learning from the wisdom of the world's oldest continuing culture as we gather to celebrate the achievements of our students today. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Today's prayer is inspired by our Liberating Education touchstone and our call to create learning that opens hearts and minds, encourages deep listening, and helps every learner to flourish. Let us begin in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. In our Edmund Rice tradition, we believe learning is shaped by the wisdoms, spiritualities, and knowings of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. We are invited to practice deep listening, sometimes called dadery, which encourages stillness, respect, and openness to learning from one another and from the world around us. We recognize that every person carries a unique story and that our diversity strengthens our community. God of wisdom, teach us to listen deeply. Help us to honour the voices of First Nations peoples, to respect the stories of others, and to recognise our connection with all life and our common home. May our learning open hearts as well as our minds. Academic assemblies celebrate excellence, but liberating education reminds us that success looks different for every person. For some, it is high grades. For others, it is persistence when learning is difficult. For others, it is courage, creativity, or growth in confidence. Real learning challenges us to think critically, act with compassion, and respond to the needs of the world around us. Each time you ask questions, support a classmate, or keep trying when something feels hard, you're living the spirit of liberating education.
Inspired by Jesus and Edmund Rice, liberating learning calls us to build a just society. It encourages us to explore meaning and purpose, to act for justice and the common good, and to recognise the dignity and potential of every learner. Through learning, we're invited to live Jesus' radical message of love, inclusion, possibility, and hope. Loving God, bless our students as they grow in knowledge, confidence, and compassion. Bless our teachers who open hearts and minds through learning. Help us to listen deeply, celebrate diversity, and use our gifts to build a more just and hopeful world. May our school always be a place where learners are free to grow, free to question, free to belong, and free to become who they're called to be. St. Brendan, pray for us. Our Lady of Perpetual Help, pray for us. Live Jesus in our hearts forever. In the name of Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Frank, Flynn and Jonah. We'd now like to invite Executive Principal Mr. Rob Corboy to come forward to give the Principal's address.
Thanks, Monique. Can I just start off by saying those three boys who just introduced this assembly did a magnificent job. Could you put your hands together for those three? Impressive. Well done. And can I begin by welcoming first and foremost our students, the very reason why we actually are here and why this place even exists. And of course to our staff and to our families, thank you for taking the time, and no doubt can be quite a busy day, to join us here this morning, and of course those people who are joining us on live stream. A very warm welcome. I'm very conscious this is the first opportunity that I've had this year to address the community, so as is a very special day and I'm really excited to be here for the academic assembly, I just want to bring up some updates for the community. I'm sure Mr. Horamo has been speaking to the student body, but while we have live stream and our families here, in regards to the school up north being St. Teresa's College. For using a business term, the parent company called EREA Colleges that actually owns this school and governs this school and has responsibility for other schools all across Australia, being some that might be familiar with Nudgee College down south and Iggy Park, Gregory Terrace, just to name a few, are part of this organisation called EREA, and they have for the last 2 years been going through a process on buying, I suppose is a term, a new school being St. Teresa's College, Abergarie. A school that's actually older than this one. It's actually 1933, an old Christian Brothers school and a very renowned school within the state. For many families out west and around this country, there'd be a lot of old boys who went to St. Teresa's Abergarie and picking up that agricultural experience. And so on the 19th of January this year, the college transferred its governance and ownership from the Townsville Catholic Education Office to EREA Colleges. And it's the second time in its history since 1933 that this has happened. And it's actually quite profound, generational change, I suppose. And somebody said the other day, for the Christian Brothers EREA, it's probably the first time in 54 years that we've actually taken over a college. And so it was a great ceremony last week where representatives from this school, Mrs. Allen, Mr. Horan, and our school leaders came up to celebrate that ceremony, along with bishops and trustees and board members and politicians and everybody else. So it was a big moment in the history of the college. And why it's important to us and why we're involved, and if you know the geography, St. Teresa's north of Townsville, past a town called Ingham, where you then turn left and go into this beautiful valley, sitting on about 150 acres. And as I said, a very strong agricultural background and a very big school supporting First Nation students. And so the question was, why St. Brendan's? And EREA as an organisation looked at us as compared to, say, Ignatius Park, which is an hour and a half down the road, because we share a similar profile. We're both boarding schools, we're both boys' schools, we're both regional schools, and we work very well in the First Nations space. So they invited St. Brendan's to work in partnership with St. Teresa's not in partnership, but even in operational support. So as there are two schools separate that are governed independently, so St Brendan's can't tip money into supporting St Teresa's or vice versa. They are two independent schools, but will operationally work very closely together. And I suppose then comes the next question, what does that mean for you as students sitting in that seat there going, so what does this mean for us? And so just as an example, you're really limited by your imagination of what this potential relationship could mean. And the first, as way of an example, we're in discussions at the moment with a company up Ingham Way in heavy machinery. And we're looking to provide opportunities for some of our senior students to get their licence in front dozers, forklifts, working at heights, to give them every opportunity once they leave the school to go to university in Brisbane and work in a factory with a forklift licence to make some money on the side to support them while they're down there. Likewise, going out into the mines, being first in that list of people applying for the mines, we'll have a student from St Teresa's or even here who will have those certificates that will get them to the front of that line as they apply. So there might be somebody sitting here who would like to take that opportunity, and we can do the theory here and you can go up in blocks and look to get up there and spend a week or two getting your licence. We're looking to do hairdressing, which is not on scope here. So if there's somebody sitting here who wants to be a hairdresser or a barber, maybe you can join the classes through Teams online and likewise go up there and do their block prac to pick up that certificate if that's something they so choose. For a school of 1,100 here and 140 at the moment, we started at 70 last June and we're at double the school the start of this year, and a lot of people are running to that school. We have to manage the growth, to be honest. And so as a small school, we can't offer the diversity of the ATAR program there as we do here. So for St Teresa's, there might be an opportunity for a student who'd like to stay at that school, might be able to Teams in and do their ATAR studies to become an engineer. So there's all these opportunities for the two communities, and as I said, we're really limited by our imagination. So that's really exciting for us. And sometimes we always learn. Life is learning. And I stepped away to help transition the two schools over the last 6 months for this opportunity. And I can tell you, to come back here and to see what happens here on a daily basis is nothing but extraordinary. It really is. The professionalism, the attitude of high expectations with the students here is just something that sometimes if you're living it, you can't see the trees from the forest. But coming out and then looking back in, it's extraordinary. I had an opportunity on Tuesday to join our committees for finance and also building. And they're volunteers, like their families here, to help support this community and give up their time to help us in doing what we're doing. And it just reminded me, as I'll get the slide up here, sorry, that's the event that happened last week. If we move on to the relationship and the next, oh, well, actually, while we're there, that school is St Teresa's up on the top left-hand side, 150 acres, extraordinary place with so many opportunities. Okay, if we go to this one, I came back and we were talking about the ITIC Centre, and I'm sure that building is the second structure that you probably can see from the space station, along with the Great Wall of China. It's just huge, and that is a game changer. That facility will really highlight, literally, and support the learning and the growth of this college for the next couple of decades at least. It will be an extraordinary building. To the right, the top right-hand corner, is the shade cloths, $1.2 million to provide undercover learning spaces for the HPE, to give some undercover spaces for the morning tea and lunchtime for the boys. To the bottom left, to support the hospitality, doing in one of those cafes that is going to sit in the middle of the school. To see the bottom middle image, which is going to be our car park. Can I just thank the parents for your understanding and all the inconvenience that goes with this over this year, but that is just going to be extraordinary. 180 bay park, car park bays to 10 bus bays, and it goes on and on and on. So this doesn't happen in a lot of schools. It really doesn't. And to see the amount of work and planning, and strategic planning and commitment by this community is just inspiring. There's no other word. It's just inspiring. And boys, you are so privileged to be part of this community, and you will be benefiting from this in the years to come. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. And as we look at this and we build these great facilities, the truth of the matter is, it's what happens underneath those roofs that make this place what it is. The learning, the relationships. We can build buildings and that's great, but what makes this place tick is, and what makes this place special, is the learning. Just listening to the numbers, we had literally, if I write it down quickly, 272 students going to be recognised for their academic awards just from year 10, 11 and 12. Miss just said 206 for 2 year levels. That's nearly over 50% of this community who are going to be up on stage being acknowledged for what is basically our core business, our learning. So congratulations to every single one of you who are going to be up here in a moment to receive an award. The academics for those who have put the effort and the time to achieve those results. And just as importantly, if not more importantly, the learning attributes. I said in the assembly just before, those learning attributes are extraordinary in the sense that if you're an employer, okay, whether it be somebody who's gone to university and wanted becoming an engineer, to the person who's working in the sheds at Longreach as a mechanic, to those working in the mines, to wherever, to the retail shops here in Yeppoon. As an employer, what they want are people who are going to be reliable, who are going to turn up every day to give their best, who are going to be resilient as we do the Resilience Project, who are going to be empathetic, kind and be a good team member, who can problem solve, show initiative and be reliable. Those learning attributes are the things that make this school special. And that's why we have, I think there's nearly over 30 people that started, I think it was December 1 to the start of this school, we lost a good 30 plus people to industry. Fantastic. We've done our job and they're going on to the next stage of life, but employers are looking at our kids going, these are the people that we want because these are the people that will represent our business, our community, and these boys are showing that. And we're grabbing them now. So it's a real testament to this college that industry is looking at grabbing our 15, 16, 17-year-olds now to support them. So congratulations to each and every one of you. I'm really looking forward to hearing, and I've had the opportunity to hear Nate and TJ speak in the last assembly. These are two remarkable human beings and testament on who we are as a community. And as Year 7 sitting here new, if you look at these two boys, okay, and you can take a message away, take away that these are the type of individuals we want you to become as proud of boys as you leave this college. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Corboy. To commence the distribution of awards, can we ask College Captain Cooper Witts to come forward to announce all our Year 8 award winners.
I would like to invite Mr. Bjorn Prince, Head of Year 8, and new college staff members Mr. Tyler Newell and Mr. Balin Wanchop to come to the stage to present the academic awards to the Year 8 students. Mr. Newell joins us from Brisbane. He is an old boy of Marist College, Ashgrove. After finishing school, he went on to the university at QUT, where he completed his education degree, majoring in HPE and English. He has completed teaching pracs at a range of schools, including North Bundaberg High, St. Joseph's Nudgee, Bray Park High, and Marsden High, bringing with him a range of experience. Not only does he follow sports, being an enthusiastic Dolphins fan and sports fan in general, but Mr. Newell is also a keen golfer and a hockey player himself. Please welcome Mr. Newell to the college. It is back to St. Brennan's for proud old boy of the college, Mr. Wanchop, who graduated in 2021. He is pleased to be returning to the SPC community in a teaching role in our science department. Originally from Dysart, Mr. Wanchop completed most of his schooling in Yeppoon before completing his teaching degree at Central Queensland University. He also completed 2 teaching placements at St. Brennan's College. Outside of the classroom, Mr. Wanchop has previously coached basketball at the college and continues to play basketball competitively. He is about to commence his first season with the Rockhampton Rockets. Please welcome Mr. Wanchop to the college. The Academic Achievement Awards, which require at least one A and nothing less than a C, are first on our list. They have been awarded to the following boys: Lachlan Absolon, Sebastian Adamski, Kelvin Asai, Ace Ballantyne, Ethan Bell, Charles Campbell, Riley Condon, Lockie Crawford, Chase Crosland, Connor Dickinson, Ignatius Draper, Theodore Fisher, Lachlan Fry, Beric Groves, Jack Hagan, Niyaj Hardman, Jet Hawkes, Jackson Healy, Billy Hemmings, Lewis Ivers, Archie Jarvis, Benjamin Jones, Miller Keegan, Brendan Cruz, Taj Marooney, Charles McKeown, Frederick Muir, Harley Neagle, Jacob Nix, Eli Parfitt, Liam Reavers, Felix Chamel, Henry Shanks, Dylan Stoyle, Riley Strong, Sam Tibbles, Army Toddless, Gabe Walsh, Keely Wardrop, Max Way, Jay Wilson, and Nate Wachowski. Please put your hands together for the Year 8 Academic Achievement winners. The Academic A Awards, which require 2 or 3 A's and nothing less than a C, go to the following boys: Cooper Barr Richards, Levi Bone, Lucian Cassis, Peter Comiskey, Campbell Duncan, Liam Edwards, Brandon Gilbride, Hudson Graham, Jax Green, Samuel Gundrum, Montgomery Harrison, Thomas Haar, Fletcher Hawkins, Java Hoff, Fraser Jones, Jack Keane, Tito Curley, Hamish King, Byron Kirk, Cash Comsick, Angus McCulloch, Trey McClellan, Archer McPherson, Kobe Newbecker, Levi Nickel, Rawlee Opperman, Brooklyn Osborne, Ollie Pallaray, Zachary Ranger, Noah Roberts, Cooper Robotham, Bailey Ryder, Braden Smith, Xavier Stathels, Cohen Werner, and Jax Wall. Please congratulate the Year A Academic A winners. The final awards for the Year 8 boys are the Academic A Plus badges. To receive an Academic A Plus, students need to receive 4 A's and nothing less than a C, or 3 A's and nothing less than a B. Receiving Academic A Pluses are Lincoln Borman, Hayden Brooks, Jackson Davis, Harry Dendel, Archie Dietz, Miles Dole, Mac Edmonston, Cooper Griffin, Harley Hadfield, Harrison Harlow, Flint Hawke, Jacob Hines, Harry Hauer, Toby Jensen, Dawson Johnson, Sonic Kelly, Sonny Lathrop, Isaac Laurie, William Matos, Flynn McFarlane, Max McWhinney, Caleb Melville, Maverick Nassar, Thomas Noy, Kobe Owens, Felix Rayner, Archie Rooney, Reed Rothery, Dane Sloan, Mason Stark, Taj Swift, Archie Thomas, Cooper Thorogood, Cooper Woods, Jonah Wren, and Romy Wyatt. Please acknowledge the efforts of the Year A Academic A Plus winners.
Congratulations, Year 8s. We now have another musical item for the morning, performed by Darcy Frankish. We're heading back to 1981 with a song that was one of Australia's most beloved anthems, with its instantly recognisable riff and lyrics referencing Vegemite sandwiches. Most here would recognise Down Under by Men at Work. Can we please make Darcy very welcome?
Traveling in a freighter combi on a hippie trailhead full of zombies. Met a strange lady, she made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast. She said, "Do you come from a land down under? Women glow and men plunder. Can't you hear the thunder? Better run, better take cover." Went from a man in Brazil. He was 6'4", full of muscle. I said, "Do you speak my language?" He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. He said, "Do you come from a land down under, where bitters flow and men chunder? Can't you hear the thunder? Better run, better take cover." Denim Bombay, slack jaw, not a lot to say. Said to the man, "Are you trying to tempt me? 'Cause I come from a land of plenty." He said, "Oh, do you come from a land down under?" "Yeah, yeah, women glow and men thunder. Can't you hear the thunder? Better run, better take cover. We are living in a land down under. Women glow and men thunder. Can't you hear the thunder? Better run, better take cover. We are living in a land down under. Oh, oh. Women glow and men thunder. Can't you hear the thunder? Better run, better take cover.
Thank you so much, Darcy. In a minute, you're going to hear from two incredible young men, TJ and Nate. And when they got up to speak at the senior assembly, I spoke about courage. And you'll see some of that in their speeches. But it also takes a lot of courage to be the only person on the stage performing, holding a guitar and singing to 800 people. So can we please give Darcy another round of applause for doing that today? So, as mentioned, we are very, very lucky here today to have both TJ Vanderwalt and Nate Brooks, who were two of our alumni from last year. Now, TJ was the College Ducks in 2025 and Nate was the Vet Student of the Year. It is a tradition that students who win these top awards return to school to give a final speech after they've had to leave. But they share with us their insights and their learnings. After their earlier speeches, Mr. Corboy presented both Nate and TJ with their cheques for $1,000, which is the prize that's given to both the Vet and Ducks Students of the Year. TJ and Nate delivered amazing speeches, speeches that were full of life, amazing accomplishments, but also just some everyday advice that we probably all need. And so Mr. Reddy and I were very, very lucky when they said they'd stick around to share some of their wisdoms with you guys as well. So just a bit of background, TJ excelled in academics here. He received an ATAR of 97.5. To put that in perspective, and TJ is going to talk about perspective, he's in the top 2.5% of Queensland with his scores. When he was here, he studied specialist maths, maths methods, chemistry, English, physics, study of religion, and he achieved an A in 5 of those subjects. He has recently commenced a Bachelor of Electrical Engineering at James Cook University in Townsville. Nate, our Vet Student of the Year, was the top student in skills and training pathway in 2025. He received the Subject Award for Cert 2 in Engineering. He was the second top in Automotive and third in Construction Pathways. Nate also excelled in mathematics and studied maths methods. He was a high achiever in religion and ethics too. Since finishing school, Nate is working on his family's farm and is currently exploring his options with boilermaking apprenticeship. I'd like to start by asking if TJ could rejoin us on the stage. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Corboy, staff, and Year 7 to 9 students. Most of you would recognize me from last year as a Word of the Week guy. Some of you, especially the new Year 7s, wouldn't have the privilege to see how the Word of the Week came about. Now, I know most of you probably didn't care about the Word of the Week, and some of you only listened because it meant assembly was almost over. But it mattered to me. It was important to me because I started it at a time when I felt like I had little control over most aspects in my life. That thing that seemed so small and insignificant actually gave me something to hold on to. It gave me structure, purpose, and a bit of motivation when I needed it the most. Perspective, the word that had the biggest impact on me, because it shaped my life more than talent, results, or success ever could. In order to understand the impact that it had on me, I must explain my story at St. Brendan's. My time at St. Brendan's was a lot of short one, but it didn't change the impact that it had on me, and still has on my life. I arrived fresh from Northern Territory in Year 11 without knowing anyone. From the moment I walked in the doors of Fitzpatrick Residence, I felt a sense of community, as I was greeted by one of the senior boys as he was on his way out. He stayed and helped me unpack from my 8-hour flight home. Afterwards, I laid in bed thinking to myself about this opportunity I had in front of me. The massive school, the amazing community of staff and peers, the incredible footy fields, and the new state-of-art science block that I saw on my tour. All of it was mine for the next 2 years. My dream was simple but powerful, to play in the first 13 rugby and maybe achieve a well-rounded ATAR. But mostly an aspiration of playing footy at a high level. I mean, with Scott Minto as a head coach, how wouldn't I be able to play for the Broncos if I really tried? Every gym session, every field session, every early morning was done with one goal in mind, running out in that first 13 jersey. But a pre-existing collarbone fracture, which happened months prior that I arrived, set my performance back. I didn't make the squad, and I most definitely didn't make Confro either. Not long after, another injury meant that I needed knee surgery, and rehab became my new reality. Watching from the sidelines was while trying to rebuild not just my body, but my belief in myself, was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Those setbacks crushed my confidence. I went from believing I belonged to questioning everything about myself. When rugby fell away, I searched for another way to prove myself. I set my sights on becoming school captain. I wanted to lead. I wanted to matter. I wanted to prove to myself that I was still worthy of achieving something incredible at St. Brendan's. I worked for it, believed in it, and once again, I didn't hit the mark. That's when I started to shut down. I isolated myself in my dorm room. New place, new people, new faces. Yet, I felt completely alone. I felt like I had failed myself, my dad, and the dream that brought us here. I wanted to leave. I wanted to go back to Darwin. I even tried to convince my dad that somehow staying wasn't worth it. Believe me, I really had to dig deep to find reasons not to be here. But sometimes a change in perspective comes from people when you can't find it from yourself. My dad stood for him. Mr. Bondi, the head of Fitzpatrick Residency, supported me when I was at my lowest. Miss Gardner was always there to help me, not only academically, but also giving me heart-to-heart advice. Definitely not sugar-coated, but honest, true, and grounded advice. They helped me understand that one chapter doesn't define the whole story. Then, during a trip to South Africa, to see my mom and sister and my whole family for the first time in 2 years, something completely unexpected happened. In the blink of an eye, I was mugged and seriously hurt, knocked out, confused, and lying in the middle of the ground, middle of the road, with a face and body covered in blood. I didn't just have my phone stolen, I was physically attacked, and 4 of my front teeth were knocked out. I remember lying there, in pain and terrified. In that moment, I needed help, real, urgent help, and I had to trust strangers to care for me when I was at my most vulnerable. That night changed the way I saw the world and how I saw myself. It was in that time when I was bleeding, scared, and helpless that I realized how powerful it is when someone chooses to help another person. I didn't just want success or a title. I wanted to help people the way I needed help that night. I spent that whole holiday recovering without teeth, unable to eat properly, and feeling like a helpless victim. It was hard to accept. And when I was told that I'd never be able to play rugby again, I was heartbroken. That dream that I chased for years, the reason I trained, sacrificed, pushed through pain, was gone. Losing rugby wasn't just losing a sport. It felt like losing a part of my identity. When I came back to St. Brendan's without teeth, I felt embarrassed, ashamed, and completely out of place. I avoided people. I avoided smiling. I avoided mirrors. And I was grieving a future that I'd always believed was mine. At that point, rugby, leadership titles, and external validation stopped mattering. I turned fully towards my academics with the long-term goal of medical school because I wanted my pain to mean something. Studying wasn't easy. I was dealing with physical pain, self-doubt, and ongoing dental treatment. Even when I was working hard, I didn't believe I was capable of real success. I changed my direction from my NRL pursuit towards pharmacy. I still set a goal, an ATAR of around 92. I studied relentlessly. I stressed constantly, but over time, something changed. I stopped focusing on what I had lost and started focusing on what I could still build. I found a sense of calm. Then, results were released. I remember opening my ATAR and just staring at the screen. I genuinely thought there had been a mistake. I wasn't expecting anything close to what I saw. So when I saw 97.5, I didn't feel pride straight away. I felt shock. It felt unreal, like that number belonged to someone else. After everything, the injuries, the rejection, the isolation, the mugging, the loss of my teeth, and the loss of rugby, that result meant more than just a score. It was proof that hard work mattered, that even when I didn't believe in myself, persistence still made a difference. That result earned me a 40 grand scholarship at James Cook University, where I'm currently studying first-year engineering. Not the path I originally imagined, but a path that turned out to be even better. Looking back, I realized something important. Perspective is what carried me through. Not making teams didn't end my journey. Injuries didn't define me. And losing who I thought I was didn't change my future. It redirected it. Perspective taught me that life isn't about avoiding setbacks. It's about learning how to carry them. Some things won't be fair, some losses will stay with you, and some dreams won't come true the way you imagined. Perspective, to get amongst my mates and community around me when I didn't want anyone else around me. Perspective, to allow myself a different journey and to take in the vast pathways this school has to offer. Perspective, to see every moment through to its fullest potential. With patience, resilience, and a shift in perspective, you can still build a meaningful, successful life. But with a change in perspective, you can fully embrace it. You might not get what you want at that moment, but you may achieve something far greater in a direction you never expected. I know you are very keen to sit and listen to me ramble on about the word perspective and what it means to me, but please allow me to thank a few amazing people who most certainly deserve the praise. Firstly, Mr. Reddy, for helping me with the word of the week, planning for externals, and for all the advice with studying. Your persistence with me helped more than you could ever realize. Mr. Cowboy, for not giving up on me, and for allowing me to pursue my own path. The school itself, for allowing me to experience such a diverse journey, and always backing me along the way. The boarding staff, Mr. Martin, Mrs. Bond, Mr. Clarkey, and Luke Thomas, for driving me around, especially to Rocky, and always making sure I got where I needed to be. And a very special thank you to the nurses, who were always helping me book appointments for my many bizarre situations, from knee surgery, from even falling through a ceiling back home. Mrs. Timlin, for a full-on approach to religious education, and for constantly pushing us to be better versions of ourselves, not just better students. Mrs. Emery, for somehow managing to explain the whole world of chemistry and its many branches in such a short amount of time. And to all the other staff who supported me along the way, even though I couldn't fit you in the speech, I'm very, very grateful for all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, TJ. Could we now ask Nate to take to the stage?
Good morning, Mr. Corby, staff, special guests, and students. For those who don't know me, my name is Nate Brooks, and I was lucky enough to be awarded the 2025 Vet Student of the Year. When I first walked into St Brendan's in Year 7, I thought it was just going to be another 6 years of school, nothing too special. Little did I know that these would be some of the most important years of my life. Somehow, it all seemed to go by in the blink of an eye. In this time, I learnt that St Brendan's and all the staff you encounter here are here to help you succeed. Success looks different for everyone. For some, it might look like choosing the ATAR path and going to uni. For others, it may be choosing the vet subjects route and going for a trade. Both paths involve dedication and effort. I found that doing subjects like Cert 2s in automotive engineering and construction really enhanced my capabilities with skills that have and will continue to help me in after-school life. Part of my version of success was keeping the balance with work, friends, and school, being able to accomplish all of my schoolwork to the best of my ability without feeling trapped. Over time, I realised that this feeling of success didn't just happen, but it came from the lessons, support, and experience that St Brendan's provided me. A few things that I learned during my time at St Brendan's that I think would be able to help everyone include getting the little things right first, little things like respect, as it costs nothing but can earn you everything. Try your best to bring a good attitude towards everything you do, because this may not only help you, but also those around you. Finally, just have a dig and see where you can truly accomplish, because you'll really surprise yourself. So don't take this time for granted. Work hard, step outside your comfort zone, and push yourself to try new things, because you'll never know the value of this time until it's just a memory. But just as importantly, make sure you enjoy it. Spend time with your mates, have a bit of banter with your teachers, and make the most of every opportunity you're given. Because without that balance, you won't truly get the most out of the incredible opportunity you've been given. Thank you.
It's certainly not easy to stand and deliver speeches to a full house, and Nate and TJ did such a great job, delivered with sincerity and authenticity. Their messages were targeted and especially important at this time of term for young people in their studies. TJ talked about perspective. You need to know that at your lowest, that's not the end. It doesn't mean you can't restart. You just need to change perspective. At the earlier ceremony I talked about, there's a famous line from a novel that says, "Courage isn't a man with a gun in his hand. It's knowing you're licked, but starting anyway." And courage is certainly being displayed by those two today, and TJ in his incredible story. Nate talked about getting the little things right, and he's right. If we get those little things right, like respect and showing up and bringing our gear, it has an impact on what we do. And he also said, you just need to have a dig. Dedication and effort will get us there. So we thank you, TJ and Nate, because you clearly put a lot of effort into writing and delivering your speeches, and it speaks volumes to us about who you are and your respect for your college and your families and friends. We wish them the best of luck with their futures. Could we please give them another round of applause? We will now move on to the Year 9 awards. To announce the Year 9 award winners, can I please call forward College Vice Captain Louis Maxwell.
Assisting with the presentation of the Year 9 awards will be Mr. Paulo Picotto, Head of Year 9, and staff member Mrs. Shannon Butler. Mrs. Butler graduated from Rockhampton State High School in 1995, and she then went on to complete a Bachelor of Human Movement Science at Central Queensland University. Mrs. Butler then completed Bachelor of Education, secondary, graduating with distinction. Throughout her career, Mrs. Butler has worked at numerous schools, including St Ursula's Yeppoon, 2 schools in inner London in the UK, and a stint with us at St Brendan's before moving to Emerald, where she worked at Morris College and then St Brigid's Catholic Primary School as a PE teacher and then Learning Support Coordinator. Mrs. Butler family have now relocated back to Yeppoon, and we are lucky to have her rejoin our staff once again. Away from school, Mrs. Butler enjoys water polo, swimming in pools and at the beach, and running or going to gym classes, as well as being a busy mum with 3 teenagers. Please welcome Mrs. Butler to the stage today. Starting with the Academic Achievement Awards, we have the following boys: Lawson Bendel, Mace Blackburn, Cooper Clark, Nash Christensen, Daylan Cross, Braxton Dallas, Brax Diplock Barron, Logan Forbes, Toby Franschin, Guy Gibson, Riley Hall, Connor Hartley, Jared Herbert, Jake Jansen, Patrick Lawrence, Landon Miller, Roscoe Moss, Marcelo Muir, Harlan Opperman, Cooper O'Rourke, Hayden Patterson, Eli Pearce, Logan Porter, Blake Ryan, Lachlan Sparks, Alexander Tamati, Malachi Thompson, Adam Van Zanden Gillen, Caden Wilkins, Preston Wolfe, and Xavier Wren. kindly acknowledge the Year 9 academic achievement winners. Meeting the criteria for academic A are Cody Ahern, Samuel Arkinall, Joshua Ballany, Fletcher Beavers, Carter Benson, Darcy Bergman, Jacob Brown, Bailey Clements, Jasper Cowling, Jacob Daniel, Mason Date, Hudson Dunn, Hunter Emery, Rocco Hanson, Wallali Hatfield, Levi Heaslip, Reeve Hinchliffe, Walter Hinchliffe, Finlay Houghton, Jimmy Hong, Moses Hunt, Oliver Lane, Nate Laverty, Mason List, Clark Luby, Maxim Love, Hamish Mackay, Ollie McLaughlin, Jacob Melville, Samuel Miller, Lachlan O'Keefe, Daniel Owen, Jesse Ram, Jasper Ramos, Charlie Sedgman, Connor Strenzel, Charlie Suttle, Dice Van Rooyen, and Ashton White. Let's show our appreciation to the Year 9 Academic A winners. The Academic A Plus badges and certificates will now be distributed. Tom Bedstead, Silas Crenny, Ethan Dixon, Zayden Elliott, Charlie Faulkner, Nicholas Goltz, Eli Haley, Clancy Hughes, Joseph Kingston, Henry Matt, Nate Moore, Rocco Nassar, Kai Nielsen, Jake Palmer, Eden Planter, Ned Power, Andy Robig, Eli Savage, Lawson Sedgman, Bronx Smith, William Turner, and Max Willey. Please congratulate Year 9 Academic A Plus winners.
Congratulations, Year 9. Can I please ask our Assistant Principal, Mr. Reddy, to the stage?
Thank you, Mrs. Jorgensen. Our final awards today are our Learner Attribute Awards. These awards recognise students for their personal excellence in 2025 and were finalised following the review of Term 4 reports at the end of last year. The Learner Attributes identify the key dispositions, skills and attitudes that we know enable students to achieve to their potential and be their personal best. These 4 attributes are shown on screen and include preparation for learning, cooperation with teacher and peers, engagement and application during class, and completion of home learning. While we know these attributes promote habits that enhance learning, they also align with transferable skills that are highly sought after in the workforce. For students to attain one of these awards, they must be rated by all of their teachers as consistently displaying these attributes at a term-based reporting period. At the corresponding assembly last year, 39 students across the college had met the criteria to be eligible for a Learner Attribute Award. This year, across our 2 assemblies, we will present to 87 students. This is more than double last year. To the boys receiving these awards, you are setting a wonderful standard and should be very proud of this achievement. Today, students will receive a physical Learner Attribute badge as part of this recognition. Students will also receive a certificate, and in week 6 they will be issued with digital badges which will be able to be shared electronically for job application and admission processes. To present the awards, can I please ask Deputy Principal Mr. Jonathan Gill and Mr. Mike Carron, Director of Research and Development, to come to the stage. Students achieving a Bronze Award receive the highest possible Learner Attribute ratings from each of their teachers in one term in 2025. From Year 8, Dallas Brown, Beric Groves, Harry Hower, William Matos, Flynn McFarlane, Trey McClellan, Archer McPherson, Jacob Nix, Brooklyn Osborne, Flynn Plaret, Sam Tibbles, and Jax Wall. From Year 9, Joshua Ballanay, Tom Benstead, Ethan Dixon, Riley Hall, Oliver Lang, Mason List, Clark Luby, Ollie McLaughlin, Ryder Newsom, Eden Piana, Lawson Sedgman, and Braxton Terry. Please congratulate our Bronze Award winners. Well done, Susan. Receiving the Silver Learner Attributes Award are students who achieved the highest possible ratings from each of their teachers in 2 terms last year. From Year 8, Lincoln Bowman, Montgomery Harrison, Isaac Lowry, and Thomas Noy. From Year 9, Silas Crenny and Reef Hinchliffe. Please congratulate our Silver Award winners. Well done, boys. Well done. And finally, for the very top award, the Gold Learner Attribute Award, for students who achieved the highest possible ratings from each of their teachers in 3 or more terms last year. From Year 8, Levi Bone, Sonic Kelly, Sonny Lathrope, and Dane Sloan, Taj Swift. And from Year 9, Walter Hinchliffe and Rocco Nassar. Certainly not easy to attain this award. Can we give these boys a big round of applause, please? Well done, boys. Good job on the parish. So that now concludes the presentation of individual awards and the formal part of the ceremony. I sincerely congratulate all students who attained an award today. Can we give all the award winners one last round of applause, please? Boys, as you can imagine, it takes a lot of work from a lot of people to put these events together. So I just like to pass on some thanks to some departments of people who have worked extremely hard to put it together. The marketing events team, thanks so much for all of your work with certificates, invitations, and setting the assembly up. The musical performances, Darcy was obviously phenomenal this morning here, but Victor in the first session with the senior boys was outstanding as well. Parents, thank you so much for joining us here in CPAC, and also those families who are joining us via the live stream. TJ and Nate coming back and giving up your time to be here, fellas. You should be really proud of yourselves the way you spoke today, and as a college we're extremely proud of you. And boys, also our teachers for all the phenomenal work that they do in supporting your learning. Can we give everyone one last round of applause, please? Okay, boys, I'm going to ask that you stay here for now, please. Mr. Jorgensen, if we can just put the map up of the parks and exit gates, please, that would be great. So, families, there's going to be a map shown on the screen. That'll just show your exit from the college today. So, depending on where you parked, if you're in a blue park, can you exit via gate 5, please? And if you ended up down on the oval, past the tennis courts, if you can come back up past the bus shed, turn left and exit via the road beside the main oval and then go out through gate 3. So thanks very much for joining us. Boys, just remain seated until our parents and families are able to exit. Thank you.